The prison gates creaked open. Wang Mei stepped out, the harsh sun hitting her face after 5 long years. Outside, her brother is waiting for her. She walks with a slight limp, suggesting she has an injury on her leg. As she approaches him, her brother says, "I think you've already paid the price for your mistake. Now I just want you to come home quietly." With each step, memories flooded in images of a young girl crying silently in the corner of her room, desperately hoping her brother would look her way. But he never did. No matter how loud her pain was, it was never loud enough for him to hear. Her brother's voice shattered her silence. He suddenly loses his temper and says, "You have no shame. You made such a huge mistake that brought disgrace to our family and society. And now you're showing me attitude when I came to pick you up? Do you even realize how important a business meeting I left to come here? Stop your nonsense and come home. Our parents are waiting for you. They've organized a big welcome party." Wang Mei responds coldly, "I have no parents. I'm an orphan. And I don't care about any welcome party." Hearing this, her brother gets even angrier. He walks up to her and says, "What nonsense are you talking about? You were punished for a terrible mistake 5 years ago and spent time in jail. But even after all that, you haven't changed. Do you even realize what you're saying?" Then, in a sudden burst of rage, he pushes Wang Mei, and she recalls the moment when he had accused her of trying to push his girlfriend off the stairs. But in reality, it was her stepsister Luing who was behind it. Despite this, her brother had refused to listen to her side of the story, and their father had also lashed out at her. Standing up again, Wang Mei says firmly, "I'm telling you one last time, I'm not going back to that house. That's not my home. So mind your own business and let me be." Just then, another man walks into the scene. He's her brother's lawyer, but also someone from Wang Mei's school days. They had both grown up as orphans, and he had always had a huge crush on her. He's extremely happy to see her released from prison and brings her flowers. But when he tells her how glad he is, she remembers how he had helped her brother falsely accuse her in court and send her to jail. Now, seeing him here pretending to care deeply hurts her. She angrily snatches the flowers and throws them away. The lawyer is left stunned. After this, she turns to her brother and asks sarcastically, "Aren't you getting back in the car?" Then, with determination in her eyes, she says, "If prison taught me one thing, it's that weak people suffer the most. But not anymore. I've decided to become strong and free myself from all this." She walks away while the lawyer silently watches her. A flashback from their school days revealed how Wang Mei and the lawyer were once in a relationship. In the present, she sits inside the car while her brother continues to talk, saying, "You have no idea. Mom and Dad missed you every single day and cried for you. I grew old waiting for the day you'd be released." But Wang Mei doesn't even look at him. Frustrated, he yells, "Wang Mei, I'm talking to you. Say something." Finally, she responds, "Our country gives people the right to visit their loved ones in prison. I was there for 5 years, and not once did my parents come to see me. And now you're telling me they missed me every day." Her brother replies, "They were very busy. Don't say they didn't love you." Wang Mei stays silent. They reach home, and her brother hands her a dress and tells her to change. She enters the house, still limping, and heads to her old room, the place where she spent her childhood. Looking around, memories flood back as she sees objects from her past. She remembers her old high school uniform, which she was never able to complete. Sometimes she could only afford a pair of trousers with her pocket money, sometimes just a jacket. She decides to wear that very outfit to the welcome party. Another flashback shows her asking her parents for money to buy a dress. Her brother had scolded her, accusing her of always wanting money and never caring about the family. Now, looking in the mirror, Wang Mei says to herself, "I was a topper in school, yet to them, I was just an ordinary girl. My life or death meant nothing to them. But today, I'll crush their pride in this old school uniform." At the welcome party, everyone is happy and excited, constantly asking, "Where is Wang Mei?" Around 6:11, Wang Mei arrives wearing her school uniform, surprising everyone at the gathering. Her brother gets angry and asks if she's lost her mind. He questions why she didn't wear the dress he gave her. When Wang Mei asks which dress he's talking about, he gets even more upset, reminding her how expensive that dress was and accusing her of wasting the money by not wearing it. He warns her that if she keeps behaving like this, she'll soon be sent far away again. Meanwhile, their parents try to calm her down, hoping she doesn't cause a scene in front of the guests. But her brother keeps lashing out, accusing her of acting like they've never done anything for her and claiming they've spent a lot of money on her. Wang Mei asks, "What money?" Her brother, confused and annoyed, says she's speaking nonsense. She then tells him that none of the money sent in her name ever reached her. Shocked, her brother immediately calls his assistant. The assistant explains that there were some issues, so the money was never actually given to Wang Mei. Hearing this, both her brother and the guests are stunned, and he feels ashamed. Her brother then realizes it might also be untrue that their parents were giving her pocket money every month. Wang Mei tells him he can confirm it with their parents, who are standing right there. Their mother tries to stop the conversation, asking her to avoid making a scene. But Wang Mei boldly asks if they will finally admit the truth, that she never received any pocket money. Her brother is left speechless because he always believed the family was covering all her expenses. Wang Mei goes on to explain how she worked tirelessly to pay her own school and tuition fees. She says she was never treated equally in the family like Lu Ying was, simply because she was an orphan. She was always treated differently, as if she didn't truly belong. When asked which school she attended, Wang Mei proudly says she got into one of the top schools in the city through her own hard work. But she didn't attend the same school as her brother. She had to walk nearly 2 hours each day just to get to school. The guests are shocked to learn how poorly her family treated her. She continues, revealing that her family not only mistreated her, but also covered up many of Lu Ying's mistakes. Several times, they even destroyed evidence to protect Lu Ying, which left Wang Mei to face the consequences. Her mother once told her, "You're not our biological daughter, so you'll have to learn to live like this." Returning to the present, Wang Mei tells the guests she's not interested in this party or in meeting them. She only came because her brother said their parents had organized a welcome party for her. The guests correct her and say it's actually Lu Ying's birthday party, not a welcome party. This revelation hits Wang Mei hard. The guests try to smooth things over, saying Lu Ying is her sister too, and that she should be happy for her. Just then, Lu Ying arrives. As Wang Mei tries to leave, they accidentally bump into each other, and Lu Ying falls to the ground. Everyone rushes to help Lu Ying and treats her with concern, while completely ignoring Wang Mei. They start scolding her, asking why she couldn't be more careful and pointing out how badly Lu Ying got hurt. Wang Mei stays silent, but everyone begins accusing her of hurting Lu Ying on purpose. She turns to her brother and points out how concerned he is for Lu Ying, then calmly says she didn't do anything wrong. Lu Ying bumped into her and fell by herself. Lu Ying then starts pretending to be hurt emotionally, asking why Wang Mei is treating her like this, saying she always thought of her as her own sister. But Wang Mei sees through the act and doesn't believe a word. She demands to prove her innocence, mentioning that there are CCTV cameras around. She also shows the crowd her injuries, which are actually more severe than Lu Ying's. The guests are shocked again. Realizing the truth might come out, Lu Ying starts making excuses and says she doesn't care about all that, she just wants Wang Mei to stay for her birthday. Some guests begin siding with Wang Mei, saying it was Lu Ying's fault. They claim Lu Ying intentionally bumped into her and then played the victim. Even then, their mother tries to protect Lu Ying, telling Wang Mei not to be so harsh on her sister and to bless her on her birthday. At that moment, Wang Mei declares she's had enough of pretending to be part of a loving family. She announces that she'll soon speak to her lawyer to officially cut all ties with them. As she walks away, her lawyer arrives and tries to stop her, but she ignores him and returns home. Once back home, she sits quietly in her room. Soon, the family's housemaid, the only person who had ever shown her genuine kindness, enters the room. Seeing her brings a moment of comfort to Wang Mei. Wang Mei becomes very happy and says, "Wang Mei, you're back. I'm so happy that you've returned." Wang Mei informs the maid that she will soon be leaving the house to go somewhere far away. She shows the maid several of her wounds, which shocks the maid, who says, "You stay here. I'll apply medicine to your wounds." Wang Mei replies, "No, everything is fine now. The external wounds will heal, but how will I heal the wounds on my heart?" Meanwhile, her brother is sitting in the car, wondering why he has never seen his sister in anything other than 2 sets of clothes. What is the mystery behind this? Did my family really not take care of her? He looks at the bent beer bottle that Wang Mei had given him and starts thinking, my sister used to be so happy. How did she change so suddenly? Back at the mansion, Wang Mei is stepping out of the house. The maid stops her and begins to warn, it's not safe to go out at night. Where are you going? Wang Mei responds, don't worry, I'll figure something out. She gives the maid some money and says, if there's an emergency, call me immediately, I'll come to you. The maid smiles and says, I can't take the money. Her brother is watching all of this from inside the car. He then approaches and asks, what is going on? The maid informs him that Wang Mei is leaving the house. Hearing this, her brother becomes angry and says, perhaps you've forgotten, I told you once to stay inside the house. Stop pretending, you know how dangerous it is to go out at night. Something could happen to you. But Wang Mei doesn't listen to him. Her brother grabs her hand, but Wang Mei jerks it away and suddenly falls down. Everyone thinks she is pretending, but then they notice she has actually fainted, and there is a lot of blood coming from her leg. Her brother panics and immediately carries her inside the house. He asks the maid, where is Wang Mei's room? The maid leads him to the storage room, which shocks him. He thinks the maid is joking. She replies, sir, I've spent my entire life in this room. I'm not joking. None of you ever had time to come and give madam a proper room. Do you remember? You told me to clean up the vacant room and give it to madam. Her brother feels very regretful and says, I'll take my sister to my bedroom. You quickly call the doctor. The maid immediately calls the doctor. When the doctor arrives, he looks at Wang Mei and says, I haven't seen a prisoner like this. Wang Mei's brother, Lian Jun, responds, she's not a prisoner, she's my sister. The doctor sees many injuries on her legs and realizes that Wang Mei had been tortured in prison. He tells Lian Jun, these wounds won't heal quickly because human bones are very fragile. Lian Jun feels deep regret and says, I will find out what happened to her in prison. He calls his assistant and asks who tried to trouble her in the prison. He finds out that his investor is keeping a relative in the same prison who is receiving royal treatment, and it was that person who tortured Wang Mei. Lian Jun becomes very angry and tells his assistant to cancel the deal with that investor. Lian Jun cannot bear the thought of his sister being treated so cruelly, and he is deeply shocked. Meanwhile, this news reaches his parents, who are very affected and say, we didn't know our son had become so foolish. We need to talk to him right away. They rush to Lian Jun's room, where they see Wang Mei sleeping in his room. They angrily ask, what are you doing here? At this, Wang Mei wakes up, surprised, and doesn't know how she ended up in Lian Jun's room. She gets up and starts to leave the room. The parents begin to act rudely towards her, especially her father, who tells her that she must have come there for money. Wang Mei doesn't respond and starts to leave. Just as she's about to leave, her father gets angry and raises his hand to strike her, but her mother stops him and tells him that this is completely wrong. Her father starts yelling at her, and Wang Mei calmly tells him, if you're done speaking, let me leave. Just then, they hear a voice coming from outside. It is her brother, who has been drinking heavily. Her father goes out to scold him, saying, how dare you cancel the deal with the investor? Do you have any idea how much damage this will cause? Do you know how we should have been living there? Why did you do that? Wang Mei listens to everything in silence. Her brother responds to their parents, saying, I did it because that investor tortured my sister and I can't deal with someone who has caused so much harm to my family. Do you even realize how badly her feet were injured? He shows them reports and adds, Wang Mei was even kidnapped. Her father responds, saying he doesn't care about any of this, but the cancellation of the deal has caused a massive loss for the company. Her brother, who is clearly intoxicated, keeps repeating, I want my sister to go to the hospital and get treated. He needs to know why this happened to her. At that moment, Wang Mei's stepmother, Lu Ying, walks in. Wang Mei looks at her angrily, and Lu Ying starts acting. She says to Wang Mei, why are you looking at me like that? What happened? Her father pushes Lu Ying away, telling her to stay away from his daughter. Then, her brother rushes to Wang Mei, asking if she is in pain or if anything is hurting her. Wang Mei says nothing, and her brother starts pretending that his stomach hurts, as if he wants her to take care of him like she used to. Wang Mei tells him to stop pretending and says, go to the doctor and don't tell me what's going on with you. Lu Ying, sensing the opportunity, says, I know you've been in jail for a long time, but that doesn't mean you can treat our family members so rudely. These are your family members, treat them well. Wang Mei replies, these people are not my family. They are strangers interfering with my life. This angers her father and brother, and her father tells her, what are you even doing here? It's better if you just leave everything and go. Wang Mei, limping, goes downstairs, takes a taxi, and asks the driver to take her to the airport. While she's in the taxi, her family doctor notices her, and she feels a sense of freedom. She heads to the airport, thinking she's finally escaping them. But her brother catches up to her at the airport, grabs her hand, and tells her to quietly go home. Wang Mei starts screaming, accusing him of trying to kidnap her. The crowd gathers and starts pulling her brother away, even hitting him. A woman steps forward and tells Wang Mei, I know he's not a kidnapper. A kidnapper wouldn't wear such nice clothes or a watch. Whatever the case, I want you to never be afraid in life and never back down. Wang Mei listens and starts walking away, but someone from behind knocks her out and drags her back. It's her brother. In the car, her brother is furious with her and grabs her by the neck, threatening, if you try to run away again, things will get much worse for you. He then brings her home, where her mother and sister are waiting. Her sister says, you scared me. Where were you going when you ran away? Wang Mei does not respond kindly, and her brother yells at her, saying, this is your sister and your mother. You should talk to them nicely. Wang Mei goes to her room. The next morning, everyone is having breakfast. Wang Mei, feeling ill, sits quietly. They tell her to eat, but she shows them her empty plate and says, what should I eat? There's no food in this plate. Luing, pretending to be kind, says she will share her food with Wang Mei, and everyone praises Luing. However, Wang Mei is unaffected by this, and she yells, I don't understand what's going on with all of you. When I used to live here, I never had breakfast or dinner with you, so why are you suddenly trying to be so nice to me? Wang Mei, angry, leaves the table and starts arguing with her father. In the process, she throws her plate on the ground, breaking it, and says, I can't stay in this poisonous house anymore. Soon after, Wang Mei begins to feel dizzy and loses consciousness. Her brother catches her. Wang Mei is in her bedroom with her maid, who tells her, Madam, you're awake. Wang Mei asks for food, as she's hungry. The maid assures her that she'll make noodles for her. As the maid brings the noodles, Wang Mei's sister enters, takes the noodles from the maid, and brings them to Wang Mei, trying to create an emotional moment. She tells her that the food was made by her for her, but Wang Mei says that by looking at the food, she can tell it wasn't made by her sister. She throws the chopsticks in her hand and tells her to stop pretending and leave. Wang Mei's sister goes to their father and tells him that the girl is very clever, as she immediately recognized that the food wasn't made by her. The next day, Luing wakes up and found out that her brother has appointed 2 new girls to take care of Wang Mei, which makes Wang Mei angry. She asks, what is this drama? Why did you do this? Her brother responds, you needed someone to take care of you, so I did this. Later, Wang Mei goes to meet the woman, Linda, whom after falling down the stairs caused her to go to jail. Still in a coma after the incident, but Wang Mei sees her as her very good friend. Wang Mei starts crying, saying, I have no one to talk to about what happened to me in jail. The other prisoners tortured me a lot, they even inserted needles into my feet, and one of them even took my kidney. Who can I tell all this to now? Because now you're not even here. She continues crying, saying, I spent 5 years in prison and still, I'm here. Just then, a man named Jack suddenly appears, and she gets scared when she sees him. She falls to the ground and says to Jack that she didn't come here to trouble him. Jack starts yelling at her, blaming her for what happened to Linda. Wang Mei apologizes, banging her head, asking for Linda's forgiveness. Here, Jack was Wang Mei's childhood friend, and he is thinking about where Wang Mei's dignity has gone. He reminisces about the time when Wang Mei came first in school and he came second. He asks Wang Mei what tips she used, and she tells him that she only taught a few other kids from different schools to financially support herself. Meanwhile, Wang Mei is bleeding from her head and almost about to faint. Jack feels sorry for her, picks her up, and tells her to stop making a scene. He starts remembering a time when he found out Wang Mei was in jail and how he informed his mother. By the time he did, Wang Mei was already in prison. Back in the present, he injects something into her and leaves. When Wang Mei gets home, her maid is happy to see her and asks what happened to her head. Wang Mei replies that she just met a friend and this is a minor injury, so she should rest. As Wang Mei goes to rest, people invite her to dinner, and the maid says, "Look, I made everything you like." Wang Mei sarcastically replies, "You've been making this for many years, so why is there suddenly so much love?" They insist that she come and sit for dinner, and she goes to join them. She tells her father, "Do you have any idea that I'm allergic to all the food you made? You would know this if you had ever made an effort for me." An argument begins between Wang Mei and her father, with him saying, "I've never seen a rude girl like you." But Wang Mei is unaffected. Back at the mansion, the family is having breakfast, and her father says that the bandage on her head is just a drama to get attention. Wang Mei's brother also thinks the same, and suddenly removes the bandage from her head, proving there is no injury. Wang Mei sarcastically asks if they are satisfied with the proof. Her father then asks, "What would happen if you spoke politely for 2 minutes?" Wang Mei gets angry, grabs her breakfast bowl, and threatens to throw it at her father. Her mother tries to calm her down, and everyone gets scared as Wang Mei storms out. In Lian Jun's office, he calls Jack and angrily questions him, how he dared to harm his sister. "I've spent a lot of money for her and we've compensated for everything. Now leave her alone and don't try to come near her." Jack denies doing anything to harm her and says he never tried to hurt her. Wang Mei's brother tells Jack about what happened to Wang Mei in jail. Afterward, he is seen at a business meeting, and his friend tells him, "It's lunchtime, let's go eat." The brother expects Wang Mei to bring lunch, but she doesn't. They wait for her, only to find out that she isn't bringing anything and isn't even home. Both are shocked and don't know where Wang Mei is. Meanwhile, Wang Mei was talking to a friend who tells him that there's an auction going on in the city for land. He suggests that Wang Mei can go and check it out. In a club, Lian Jun is drinking heavily and thinking about why people did what they did to his sister. He can't understand how to bring his sister back into the family and make things normal again. Then Jack arrives and starts drinking his drink. Lian Jun gets irritated and accuses him, saying that Jack is responsible for his sister's pain. He is angry that Jack is still reacting as though nothing happened. A heated argument ensues between Lian Jun and Jack, where Jack says that he has told Lian Jun multiple times that there was no fight between him and his sister and that he never hit her. She got injured on her own, and Lian Jun shouldn't blame him. Jack storms off in anger, while Lian Jun continues to drink heavily. Back at home, Wang Mei's father is angrily confronting her. Lu Ying had lied to her parents again, claiming that Wang Mei had tried to push her down the stairs. Her father tells her that despite spending 5 years in jail, she hasn't changed and is still using her old tricks to harm her sister. He questions why she hates him so much. Wang Mei responds defiantly, saying that perhaps her father has forgotten that his real daughter is not her but her sister. She tells him not to ask such questions and to understand why she hates her. Her father gets angry and tells her that she talks too much now and doesn't deserve to stay in the family. Lu Ying pretends to be scared, and the argument between them escalates. Her father pushes her and says that he has only one option left, to punish her. He starts hitting her with a belt. The maid enters and tries to stop him, crying, begging him not to hurt Wang Mei as her legs are already severely injured. Her father refuses to listen and tells the maid that she is just the housemaid and should only speak when asked. The maid continues to try to protect Wang Mei, and several times her father even raises his hand against the maid. Wang Mei, angered by this, grabs the belt from her father's hands and pushes him away. She warns him that she will show him who is right and who is wrong and that the drama will end now. She grabs a knife and threatens her father, saying that either he stays or she does, and that she won't let him go. Her father gets scared, and she tells him that it was okay for him to hit her, but hitting her aunt was unacceptable. Her mother tries to intervene, but Wang Mei refuses to listen, telling her that she is not her real mother, but only Mrs. Li, and her job is to side with her husband and protect her daughter. The maid tries to stop Wang Mei and urges her to forget everything and let her apply medicine to her injuries. At this point, her father gets so scared that he agrees to never punish her again. Wang Mei's mother comes to her and asks why she is reacting this way, saying that she gave birth to her. Wang Mei responds that she understands, but won't forgive her for everything, and she wishes to go back to jail. Her mother, fearful, tries to make her understand, but Wang Mei asks if they should end their mother-daughter relationship. In an emotional moment, Wang Mei cuts her finger and lets the blood fall, causing her mother to panic. Just then, Lian Jun arrives, witnesses the scene, and asks what happened. Wang Mei faints, and Lian Jun rushes to take her to the hospital. The maid is crying and saying that there's no time for arguments and Wang Mei needs to be taken to the hospital immediately. Meanwhile, Wang Mei's father gets up and tells his wife that their son has gone crazy over this girl and that she should die. His wife slaps him hard, and he is stunned, asking if she's hitting him because of this foolish girl. His wife then faints from shock, and we cut to the hospital scene where Lian Jun asks the maid what happened. She explains that Wang Mei's mother had accused Wang Mei of trying to push her down the stairs, which enraged her parents, and they began punishing Wang Mei. The maid had tried to stop them, pointing out that Wang Mei's legs were already injured, but they didn't listen and beat her badly. Lian Jun is shocked, unable to understand how his family could be so cruel to their own daughter. At this moment, the doctor enters. As Wang Mei is being shifted to another location, the maid went along with her. The doctor tells Lian Jun that Madam's injuries will heal because he will treat them, but he noticed more marks on her lower body. Upon hearing this, Lian Jun is a little shocked and asks how he saw those marks. The doctor explains that he observed that Wang Mei is missing a kidney. Someone must have taken it. Lian Jun is stunned and says, "How can that be? My sister spent so much time in prison." The doctor shows him the medical report, and Lian Jun is shocked, unable to believe that his sister endured all of this. Lian Jun calls his assistant and tells him to find out who did this to his sister and get all the details today. Meanwhile, the doctor is with Wang Mei and asks why she has hurt herself so much. Wang Mei responds, "Are you out of your mind? Why would I hurt myself?" The doctor says, "Your father must have hit you badly today. I should have realized it." Wang Mei snaps, telling him to stop talking nonsense and leave. The doctor refuses to leave, but continues to harass her with useless advice. Wang Mei gets angry, telling him, "Come here, my neck hurts so much." As soon as the doctor approaches, Wang Mei warned him to mind his business. The doctor says, "You can never change." He then leaves, and outside, Lian Jun is waiting and asks how Wang Mei is. The doctor replies, "She's fine, still arguing with me." He then asks, "Why did your father beat Wang Mei so much?" The doctor explains that Wang Mei had complained that he was bothering her. The doctor laughs and says, "I don't want to get involved in all of this." We then see the maid taking food to Wang Mei, but Luing arrives and snatches the food, asking, "What are you doing? Are you out of your mind? Who are you taking food to?" "She's a murderer. She tried to kill my father." Lian Jun watches from a distance, silently observing. Luing scolds the maid, saying, "You've forgotten your place. You're just a maid, and you should stay as far away from that girl as possible." Just then, Lu Ying's parents arrive and ask what's going on. Lu Ying, crying, says, "This maid is bothering me," she said. Lu Ying's father slaps the maid hard, and Lu Ying humiliates her further, even taking the food from her. Lu Ying says, "You can't take food to that girl." Lian Jun arrives, observes the situation, and snatches the food from Lu Ying's hands, saying, "You need to take this food to Wang Mei immediately. If anyone tries to stop you, I'll cut their hands off." Lu Ying is frightened by this. Lian Jun walks away, while her father yells at him, saying he's raising a snake in his house, but Lian Jun doesn't respond. Lu Ying's mother also tells the maid to go with Lian Jun, but Lu Ying tries to stop her, yet her mother insists, saying, "Maybe you misunderstood." Lu Ying, still upset, asks Lian Jun, "Brother, why are you treating me so badly?" Lian Jun replies, "Now I understand what has been going on in this house for the last 5 years. Now I want you to stop talking." After Lian Jun leaves, Lu Ying goes to her father, saying, "Did you see how that girl has turned my whole family against me?" Her father reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, I have a great plan, and if you help me, we can execute it quickly." Lu Ying asks, "What plan?" Her father explains that he knows a prince who tortures girls, and he wants Wang Mei to marry him. In exchange, they'll receive a lot of money because no girl wants to marry him. He promises that if Lu Ying helps, the plan will be completed quickly. At the hospital where Wang Mei's mother is with her, but Wang Mei is not talking to her nicely. She tells her mother, "I've repaid my debt to you, now leave as soon as possible." Her mother tries to explain that she still loves her, but Wang Mei doesn't understand. Her mother gives her food, but Wang Mei refuses and shows her the door, telling her to leave. As Wang Mei's mother leaves, she sees the maid giving food to Wang Mei, and Wang Mei is eating it happily, smiling. This makes her mother feel very hurt that her own daughter is treating her like a stranger. When the maid returns, she tells Wang Mei's mother that she's very tired and needs rest, and they shouldn't bother her. The mother, however, starts yelling at the maid, saying, "Now I have to ask a maid how I should live with my children?" The maid, frightened, leaves. Later, Wang Mei's mother returns, trying to convince her emotionally, but Wang Mei asks, "Why are you doing this?" Her mother says, "I want you to forget everything and come back to our family." Wang Mei replies, "That's not possible." Her mother insists, "I'll do whatever you ask me to." Wang Mei then sets a condition. She demands 10 million. The mom agrees to give her the money only so that Wang Mei can forget her past and leave. After a while, the maid's daughter came to meet Wang Mei. Wang Mei asks her how her studies are going, to which she replies that she is receiving more scholarships than she expected from college, and her dream is to go abroad and complete her studies. However, she doesn't have enough money for that, and Wang Mei tells her, "Don't worry about the money, I'll handle it." Later, Wang Mei is at home, where she asks the maid where her mother has gone. The maid replies that her mother left early this morning with a jewelry bag. Later, Luing goes shopping, where she discovers that her mother has sold all of her jewelry and expensive purses. This frightens her, and she calls her father, telling him that her mother has sold everything and given all the money to Wang Mei, and now they are ruined. Her father gets angry, and Luing thinks to herself that she will not allow that girl to take even a single thing from their house, no matter what. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Wang Mei's mother arrives with all the money to meet her. She gives Wang Mei the money and says, "I just want you to forget everything that happened and start fresh with us." Wang Mei is about to keep the money when her father arrives and slaps her hard. He snatches the card from her hand and tells her, "You won't get anything from us." He directed his anger to her wife, saying, "You have no shame. You sold all my hard-earned money in one day for this insignificant girl." Her mother replies, "Let's talk outside," and her father says, "I'm telling you, we will marry this girl to that prince so that he can torture her, and in return, we'll get a lot of money." Wang Mei overhears them and thinks to herself, her mother isn't as good as I thought, and she'll definitely agree to the marriage for her father's sake. Wang Mei walks through them and heads to her bedroom. There, she sees her lawyer peeling an apple. Wang Mei tells him, "Maybe you're good at drama, but you don't understand that I don't want any of this." The lawyer started being rude to Wang Mei and tells her, "Why can't you be loyal like before? Just listen to me." He tries to choke her, but the maid arrives just in time to beat the lawyer and tells Wang Mei to run. The lawyer shoves the maid back, and Wang Mei becomes enraged. She picks up a knife and is about to stab the lawyer. She says, "You're the one who studied law only to do bad things. You've sent innocent people to jail. Because of you, I wasted 5 years of my life, and now I want to make you pay for it." She then slashes her wrist and collapses, unconscious. Meanwhile, Wang Mei wakes up at her parents' house. Her parents are downstairs with Luing, talking about arranging her marriage to the cruel prince because they will receive a lot of money in return. Wang Mei arrives and joins the conversation, agreeing to marry the prince. Her father, Lian Jun, protests, saying, "We can't send you like this." Wang Mei responds, "I didn't ask for your opinion, so don't give it to me." Lu Ying feels upset hearing this. Later, Wang Mei goes to her room, and Jack follows her. He tells her, "Why are you doing this? I love you so much, and don't want to lose you." Wang Mei replies, "I've made up my mind, and I won't change it." Jack then reveals to her that he didn't arrange the torture at the hospital, nor did he send anyone to hurt her. On the contrary, he had sent a doctor to save her. Wang Mei is shocked, and Jack leaves. Meanwhile, Lu Ying stands with her parents, creating a drama about wanting to marry the cruel prince so she can contribute to her family. Her father insists they won't let this happen, and he doesn't want Lu Ying to go through any problems. After Jack leaves, Lu Ying sees him and immediately heads to Wang Mei. She confronts Wang Mei, saying, "You don't know how much I love Jack, so stay away from him." Wang Mei says nothing and slowly walks up to her. She tells Lu Ying, "I never told you I wanted him. Do whatever you want." Saying this, she slaps her hard. Lu Ying, crying, runs to her parents and complains about Wang Mei hitting her. Her father then calls her outside. Wang Mei steps out with confidence, and her father gets angry, wanting to hit her. Wang Mei reminds him that her wedding is in 2 days, and if her cruel prince finds out that her father tried to hurt her, he will make sure her father suffers. Her father, fearing the prince, sits down. Wang Mei taunts him, saying, "What kind of father is this, who can't even avenge his daughter?" She adds, "I think I should slap her again." An argument breaks out, and her father says he's fed up with her, storming off in anger. One by one, everyone leaves. The next day, the prince's assistant, who has gathered all the details about Wang Mei, arrives at her family's house on the prince's orders to propose the engagement. At first, Wang Mei's father refuses, but because of his greed, her father reluctantly agrees. Wang Mei says she hasn't given her opinion yet, to which her father tells her to stop talking nonsense and do as she's told. Wang Mei insists that the deal they made must be fulfilled, but her father tells her to be quiet. Wang Mei argues with him, and the assistant asks what her demands are. Her father says she wants a dowry of $10 million. Wang Mei's father hands her a card, pleased with the money, but the assistant remarks that $10 million is too little and that Wang Mei is worth far more. He then orders expensive gifts for her, which causes Wang Mei's father and Lu Ying to become even greedier. They eagerly anticipate receiving the gifts. Wang Mei begins inspecting the gifts. Her father expresses his gratitude towards the prince for sending them, but Wang Mei interrupts him, saying, "These gifts are for me, not for you." The assistant agrees. Wang Mei tells him to return all the gifts quietly and come with her. The assistant obeys, taking the gifts back. Her father and Lu Ying are furious. Wang Mei says her goodbyes and starts to leave. The maid stops Wang Mei and says, "I'll miss you. Stay in touch." Wang Mei gives her the $10 million card, telling her to send her daughter abroad and not to worry, as she'll stay in touch. The maid becomes emotional and Wang Mei leaves. Meanwhile, Lian Jun watches from behind and is pleased with the scene. We then see the prince's house, where the prince has sent a wheelchair for Wang Mei. Wang Mei refuses to sit in it. The prince arrives holding a balloon, and Wang Mei recognizes the situation as something familiar. The prince approaches her, and she asks, "Why were you in such a hurry to meet me?" He replies, "Maybe you won't understand," and begins walking toward her. Wang Mei mentions that she has heard many girls have died at his hands. The prince remains silent, but keeps moving toward her, and it seems he's going to harm her. However, instead, he hugs Wang Mei and says, "Maybe you've forgotten me because 15 years is a long time." Wang Mei recalls when they were in an orphanage and how she saved him from bullies, giving him a blanket. The prince confirms it was him. Wang Mei is stunned and says, "So it's you." She mentions all the rumors about him, but the prince explains that they were part of a plan to stop girls from marrying him against their will. He reveals that he has been waiting for her. Wang Mei is shocked to hear this. Wang Mei then asks, "How did you become a prince?" He replies, "A king adopted me, and then I started a business that made our family wealth grow." The next day, Wang Mei woke up to a life of luxury, with many servants attending to her, fixing her hair and bringing her clothes. She reflects on how no one ever thought she would live such a grand life. Later, while having breakfast, she notices the maid is with her, and the maid tells her that the prince brought her here, arranged for her daughter's admission to a good university, and made arrangements for her accommodation. Wang Mei is very impressed by the prince's kindness. Wang Mei asks the maid to go take care of some work, promising to talk to her later. She then tells the prince that she never imagined the famous prince could be so kind. The prince feels pleased by her words. We then see Wang Mei's family discussing their situation. Wang Mei's father reveals that, in exchange for Wang Mei, he made a deal with the prince. In 3 days, the prince will give him a large piece of land to open a hotel. The family will be able to preserve their wealth, but Wang Mei's mother feels terrible after hearing all of this. She feels as though she has handed her daughter over to the wrong hands for the sake of money. Lian Jun tries to console her, explaining that they had no control over the situation. Wang Mei wanted to marry of her own will. Back at the hospital, Jack is sitting next to his sister and sharing his feelings, saying he can't stand the thought of Wang Mei being with someone else and that there's nothing he can do about it. His sister regains her senses and reveals the truth about how she saw Luing stealing and then pushed her. She tells their parents everything, yet they blamed Wang Mei, not wanting to save her. This revelation shocks Jack, as he had been blaming Wang Mei for everything. Meanwhile, Lianjun's assistant brings him the reports in his office. They learn that Wang Mei was tortured in prison and one of her kidneys was stolen. The prisoners were paid to torment her, and to their shock, they find out that Wang Mei's father was behind it. Lianjun is stunned and says, "How could my father do this to his own daughter?" At a meeting, Wang Mei and her prince were present. Everyone is thrilled to see them together. Luing speaks to her father, mentioning that he had said the prince would kill Wang Mei soon, but they look very happy together. Her father responds, "You wait and see what happens after they've been married for a while." When the prince steps down from the stage, Wang Mei's father rushes to him, reminding him of a deal to give him a piece of land to build a hotel on. The prince denies any such deal, saying, "There was no such deal between us. Don't bring up these false accusations." It becomes clear that the prince is lying, and Wang Mei's father blames them for everything and intends to harm the prince. But the prince holds his hand and says, "Maybe you've forgotten, but she's my wife now. You can't do anything to her." Slowly, everyone arrives, starting with Jack. When Luing sees his sister alive, she is shocked and begins begging. Jack's sister then confesses in front of everyone that she was pushed by Luing, and her parents intentionally put the blame on Wang Mei. The prince asks Jack, "So, did you make Wang Mei suffer all this time for this?" Jack hands him a file, saying, "I didn't make this happen." At this moment, Lianjun enters and insists on knowing everything. The truth is revealed. Wang Mei's father was behind all of it. Wang Mei's mother is heartbroken, and she slaps her husband, asking, "Why did you do this to our daughter?" The prince then plays a video, revealing that when Wang Mei and Luing were born, they had been swapped. That's why Wang Mei's father had always favored Luing, as Luing was his stepdaughter. Luing begins to plead, saying she doesn't want to go to jail. Just then, the police arrive and arrest both of them. Wang Mei's mother still pleads for a chance with Wang Mei, but Wang Mei responds, saying that she has repaid all their kindness by cutting off one of her fingers. She no longer wants to live with them. Finally, Wang Mei and the prince looked happy as they spend quality time together.